Hi guys, welcome to Beard's Eye View. This is going to be my spoiler review for episode 3 of WandaVision. Before we begin, don't forget to like and comment down below, subscribe and ring the bell to be notified whenever I do videos. I do them every single week, so make sure you keep a lookout for those. Spoilers all the way through. I mean, I feel like I'm just, I'm stupid for saying this now. Of course there's going to be spoilers. So yeah, spoilers all the way through. Make sure you check out the episode first. Episode 3, now with colour. Obviously full in colour, 70s kind of looking thing. Very Brady Bunch kind of intro as well, which I really like. Had a very Brady Bunch kind of feel to it, to be honest. It was still in like the 4:3 kind of aspect ratios, like the screen and everything. But I really liked it. I'm glad we went in full colour. I mean, I did like black and white, but you know, I like having full colour, just a little bit more easier to watch, I suppose. This whole thing is centred around her being pregnant and giving birth. As we see in the trailers, we know that she gives birth to twins. They discuss like the names and everything, even though Tommy and Billy is what we know it's going to be. For some reason that always reminds me of Power Rangers, because obviously two of the characters are called Tommy and Billy, so always reminds me of Power Rangers with that. But it was really, you know, your kind of classic kind of sitcom fun kind of thing with that woman being pregnant and everything, signing on names, painting the nursery. I like the quick thing he was doing with changing the nappy and everything. That was really fun. Yeah, so it was just like that kind of classic really feel. I like the way everything looks as well. They nailed the 70s look absolutely perfectly. I forgot to mention in my last review about the adverts as well. The Stark toaster, the Strucker watch, and now we've got the Hydra soak thing, which is all loosely connected to her life in real life, because obviously it's Hydra, Strucker, Stark, it's all connected to her. So I like that, because it all brings it together that this is obviously all happening inside her head. I mentioned in my last video that I think this is going to be a very Truman Show kind of thing, where this is little kind of bubble that she's created. And we got a little bit more information in this episode about how that happens. A little bit more of it I'll get into near the end of the review. But one of the bits is that as Vision thinks something is wrong, you can see he reverts back to the kind of classic Vision stoic character that we know. And he's looking at us saying there's something wrong. Before he can really kind of process it and really finish what he's trying, his thought process, she glitches it back. And then it goes back into sitcom of talking about them and everything. And that's showing that she does have control over this universe. But I don't think it's full control. I think it's still a dream kind of thing where she's dreaming, but in her subconscious, like I say, but she still has control for the majority of this thing. But there's a few bits here and there that she has in her subconscious, so she doesn't have full control over it, which becomes apparent later on when someone else enters the fray. Monica Rambeau, although obviously it's not Monica Rambeau, it's a different name. I can't remember the name of the character inside this universe where she's there, she's helping her give birth and everything, and she's doing that kind of, you know, the usual sitcom stuff. You just think it's a sitcom character, although as we know from the trailers, she's clearly going to be Monica Rambeau, but we didn't know in what way she's going to be doing it. We get our answer later on. Basically, just like it's all like like I said, the sitcom kind of stuff, and then it becomes quite apparent that she's not within this little pocket thing that Wanda has created. She asks about certain things, then Pietro gets asked about. Obviously he's dead. Ultron gets mentioned because Ultron kills him, and then before you know it, it's becoming sinister, it's becoming serious. All the while with Vision outside talking to Agnes and I can't remember the other dude's name, and they're just trying to like tell him stuff without telling him, and she's like, no, don't say anything. Clearly, like Vision can see something's up here, something's going wrong, and there's something not right, and they're just kind of, it's like they're trapped in this universe, like she's making them play puppets and everything, and they're not there like willingly. Back inside and everything, it all goes really serious, and if you notice really carefully, her full-on American accent disappears and she goes back to her Sokovian accent because it all becomes serious. She's like, who are you? What's going on? And she notices the sword emblem and the necklace. She realises you're an imposter. You're not meant to be here. I haven't created you, or I haven't put you in my little bubble here. Who are you? And this is where, like you say, it gets so interesting because it starts to unravel a little bit of something is not right. We get tidbits in the last episode, but in this, with the final moment, this gives you clarification, and it also gives me clarification that I knew that it was a Truman Show based kind of thing. Monica Rambeau gets ejected from this little bubble that Wanda has created, and that's your confirmation that the fact that she's not just dreaming. It's a case of she's actually like in a place called Westview. It's a place that actually exists. And I also love the fact that it goes from the 4:3 ratio to the widescreen, so that it tells you we're not in her little mind anymore. We're in the real world, the real timeline of the MCU, and she's ejected from it. and like with all this red sparks around her, she falls down and everything, and she just kind of looks like she wakes up kind of thing. So it's as if she kind of went into a kind of dream sequence and woke up as she was forced out, and it just basically pans away with all the sword agent cars and everything, floodlights down on Westview, and you can see this kind of pixelated kind of bubble over the top of the town. So essentially she created a, like I said, a Truman Show kind of thing, but it's in her head where she's got most of control, but I don't think she's got full control, because certain things happen that, you know, as Vision is kind of figuring things out, that's not something she wants to happen. As the beekeeper comes in, that's not something she wants to happen, so she hasn't got full control. With the guys that are in there, my thought process is that I think that they've maybe been put into a dream kind of thing as well, but being the fact that Monica Rambeau kind of looks like she's waking up as she gets forced out, I think that they're in a kind of dream as well. It's a bit subconscious, so they're kind of aware of what's going on, but they can't control it, they can't stop it, so maybe they're kind of in that dream sequence as well to a point. That could be absolute bollocks, obviously, but it's nice to speculate, because that's the great thing that this episode and indeed the other episodes have done. It's teasing you enough for you to speculate so much on what could actually be going on, and it's unraveling more and more. We get a little bit more information each episode, and I'm really enjoying the aspect of the show like that. That it's, like I say, it's darker than it's meant to be, and there's something serious going on, and they're giving you little bits every episode to go, this is kind of what's happening, and you're going to find out more next week. I do have a theory with Vision as well. It could be absolute bollocks, but, you know, again, we might as well theorise. The whole fact that Vision is clearly dead. Vision is dead, this is taking place after Endgame, and what we're thinking so far is that she's willed him into reality. Just like she willed the twins into reality, they now exist, so she's made him up in her mind, so he's definitely dead. However, he seems to be, like I say, seeing at points, something's wrong here, something's not right, something's off. And because of that, I think that he's a little bit more conscious than we think. He's not just been manifested in her brain. My theory is, I think she has his body. Because if you think at the end of Infinity War, once the Mind Stone's ripped from him, he drops his colour, he falls to the ground, gone. Everybody gets snapped out, but obviously he doesn't because he's already dead. Now, I don't know what happened with his body afterwards, but it wouldn't decay because he's an android. He doesn't decay like a normal human being. So I reckon that maybe, as they've mentioned in Infinity War, there are more parts to him than just the Mind Stone. There's Stark, there's Ultron, Jarvis, there's Hulk as well, Bruce Banner. They said maybe they can save Vision and, you know, the best parts of him and still have a whole lot of Vision left. Maybe that's what they're obviously in the process of doing in Infinity War, and even though the Mind Stone is gone, there is some sort of base consciousness there within his body, and maybe she's taken his body and they're just sitting there living a life out together, trying to have this perfect life with him, all the while involving all these other people and creating this dome of like WandaVision reality. And maybe that's what it is. Again, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm theorising at the moment. That kind of explained why Vision seems to realise that certain things are up. Because if it was complete manifestation of her own mind, she wouldn't allow that to happen. She'd be like, well, no, he's just the thing that I've made up, so he's going to go exactly the way I want him to go. And the fact that he's not shows that maybe there's a consciousness somewhere, and the only way I can think of it is that she has his body. Also, with that, I'm thinking that maybe she can potentially will Quicksilver back into existence at some point, potentially. She's managed to do it with twins. She's done it to a certain extent with Vision. There's no reason why, especially that he's been name-dropped, that she could potentially bring him back in some way, even if it's just for one episode. Overall, guys, this was definitely the best episode so far. I did not like the first two, but this gave us a little bit more information. It opened up what's really going on a little bit more, but not by too much. I like the fact the way they're building this whole thing, especially with they've shown perfectly when you're inside her universe and when you're in the real world. I'm liking the unraveling that's slowly starting to happen. I'm liking all the theories that I can think of and other people can think of, we can talk about, and that's the brilliance of this show. It really gets you thinking what is actually going on. We can theorise and think what it might be, but we could all be wrong. It could be something completely different. And that's how it keeps you intrigued to be watching every single week, because I want to know a little bit more. Give me a bit more information, let it unravel, and it's just, that's what I'm really looking forward to, finding out how this unravels over time. So that's what I thought of episode 3 of WandaVision. What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. If you want to find me on social media, any of these, all links are in the description, and I'll see you soon.